My partner, 18F, and I, 20F, just broke up last Sunday over issues that I know are fixable. How do I go about regaining her trust again and rebuilding what we had? We have been together for 2.5 years and have done everything imaginable with each other. We met when I was in my senior year of high school and she was in her sophomore year. When we first started talking, the connection was magnetic. We couldn't stay away from each other, and I had never felt so connected with someone. I come from a very rough upbringing, and my communication was never amazing. Early in the relationship, I would get upset over something sort of small, and I would shut down due to my emotions being super heavy to process. Not because I wanted to shut her out. I wanted to tell her everything, but I just physically couldn't get any words out. Of course, that would freak her out and upset her. We worked through that together. I started being more open about my feelings, and we would work everything out. After the first 6 months together, I went away to college about an hour from our hometown. I would spend my weekends with her, sometimes bringing her down to my college to visit for a night, but mainly heading over to her house to spend the weekend. During this time, I was working full-time while also attending classes, but I always made it work. After my first year in college, over the summer, we had gotten even closer. I would spend days on end at her house, and she would spend days at my house. I was incredibly ingrained in her family life, going on their annual family vacations and spending holidays. Because we started to get so close, we didn't leave any room for ourselves during this time. I started to assume that my free time would be spent with her, and that she would feel the same way. Last December, I went with her family on a ski trip. One day, she was telling me that she wanted to spend a day with her friends after the trip to work on something. I had gotten very upset because I had assumed she would spend the day with me since I had taken a day off from work for her. I shut down completely. I couldn't tell her how I felt because my emotions were just too heavy. This moment damaged the relationship I had with her for a short period of time, and damaged the relationship I had with her mother as well. After that trip, we started to get into more arguments. Around the time, I had my own apartment on my college campus, but I would still spend many nights at her house. Again, not giving each other space, but we were so in love. We didn't care. We just wanted to see each other. We always said we couldn't sleep as well when we were alone. In February of this year, we had gotten into some kind of argument that I can't even remember. She had asked to take a break. She was going on a school trip, so the time apart would have happened naturally, but she was telling me how she felt suffocated, like I depended too much on her. She told me she felt that she couldn't feel free to see her friends because it would upset me. I apologized immediately and told her I would do my best to work on that. I told her I would return to therapy and start taking my medications again. I have bipolar disorder. Although I did do a better job of letting her have her time seeing her friends, I didn't return to therapy. I felt like I had so much on my plate and not enough time or money to do it. I deeply regret this. She requested a 2-week break, and of course I accepted this. 2 days go by, and she tells me to come over and that she misses me. I was a mess. I was so confused. I didn't understand why she would change her mind on this. The break was not supposed to be a no-contact break. She told me that she wanted to hear from me, so we did speak, just not as often. I, of course, went to see her that night. She told me to come over, which, looking back, I probably shouldn't have done. I asked her why she changed her mind, and she said that she thought the break was what she wanted, but it turns out it wasn't. I accepted the answer, though I was sort of heartbroken. I was processing the break like a breakup. I truly thought she was done with me. Time went on, and we didn't have another incident until maybe April. I was going through a lot. I had to find a new job because I was medically advised to leave my career, so I was unemployed and spending all of my time at her house. I don't even remember what our argument was about, but she had told me that this cycle of arguments would not continue, and if she felt hurt again, that would be her last time. I agreed. I didn't want to keep fighting either. From then on, we had a good time. We recently went on a couple's trip in the middle of August. We started talking about our intentions for the future, like marriage, family, etc. Throughout the relationship, we had these kinds of talks, but I led the conversation on engagement in the past month. I wanted to know where her head was at. I had asked her if I proposed now, would she accept? She told me yes. I had planned to propose in the next 2 years. When it came to family talks, she always told me she wanted kids. I expressed to her how hesitant I was to have children, especially with my upbringing. I told her I was afraid I couldn't be a good mother, but something about this girl made me reconsider. I knew that if I had her as a partner that I could do anything. I wanted to do anything. No other partner in my life has made me feel that way. She moved into college 2 hours away from our hometown just last week on 26th. I helped her move in, and we had a great day. It was bittersweet. During her first week at college, things got a little tense. I was upset that she wasn't speaking to me much, and I felt bad that I was the one to keep reaching out first. She told me she realized she wasn't making a good enough effort, but that the next weeks coming up will be better since she will be more adjusted to college life. I tried to believe her, but I was so wrapped up in my emotions that it was hard. When I saw her again on Sunday, I was moving my brother into college, the same one, and asked to meet up. We had the intention of seeing each other that day since I left her on Tuesday. I think that there was miscommunication during this event. I think she believed that it would be a quick visit since I was on campus, so I thought I would spend my day with her. At first I asked how long she wanted to see me, and she said at least 2 hours. Then I later asked how late I should stay. She told me 8 p.m. I was fine with this. When the day came, she had texted me that she had something to do with her friend at 6:30 p.m., but until that time I was all hers. I completely misread the text through the chaos of moving things and thought she said she was busy until 6:30 p.m. I was upset and responded, "What the hell? I thought we were hanging out." Then I immediately responded, "I'm so sorry, I read that completely wrong. I thought you were telling me to wait until 6:30. We brushed past that incident. After I finished setting my brother up, I told her I was coming to meet her. I picked her up and we went to lunch. In the car ride over there, I had asked to talk. I told her that since she is not very far away from home, I would like to see her every weekend. She had originally planned to come home every other weekend. Even this was rocky because she wouldn't give me any exact day or anything, just that she would probably come home. She wouldn't tell me when in case something happened and she had to back out, so she wouldn't upset me. I told her I would rather take her out to dinner one night and see her again the next weekend at home. That way, we didn't have to put so much pressure on texting or calling since the first week didn't go so well. She told me, "I don't think that's a good idea." She wouldn't tell me why. Of course, this was very frustrating to me, but I tried to keep my cool. We went to lunch and things were sort of okay, but we were both very emotional after this whole week. After lunch and some more talking about the situation, she told me to take her back to her dorm. She needed time to herself. I asked her, "Are you way too upset to look at me?" She responded, "Yes." After an hour, she texted me, "I don't think I can hang out the rest of the day, but I need to talk to you before you leave." My heart sank. I texted, "Are we done? Is that the talk? If that's the talk, I would rather do it now, and I can leave." She texted me saying, "Yes, it is." "I'm so sorry." I couldn't believe it. I stood there begging her to just give it some time so we could both adjust to this new space. She wasn't having it. When I met her outside her dorm building, I kept begging her to give it time. She said she was done with the cycle of hurting each other. It was clear that she didn't want to break up with me, and that this was a decision she came to within the time we were apart that day, so about an hour. She struggled to let me touch her. Halfway through this moment, I sort of woke up and realized what was happening. She told me she loved me. She said she still wanted contact and to be friends. I had asked her if we would ever see each other again, and she said she wanted to. I asked what happens if these few weeks go by and she changes her mind, and she hinted at a maybe. I had asked her if we would ever reconnect, and she said, "I think we will find our way back to each other." I told her I would wait however long she needed. She asked me if I was mad at her. I told her no, and that I understood why she was doing that. This whole interaction was maybe around 5 minutes. I think we both know that if we had been longer, she would have ended up changing her mind. I think she made the right decision. After we left each other, I texted her saying how much I loved her, how I would wait until we could reconnect, how I told her I know our story together isn't over. I told her if what she needed from me right now is to love her from afar, then that is what I will do. She replied, "Thank you." I responded, telling her that I loved her so much, and that I would show that to her every single day. My last message to her that day was, "Please don't let this be forever." The next 2 days, we didn't speak. On Tuesday, before I went to bed, I checked her location. She was still sharing it with me through Life 360. I just wanted to know she was safe. At 3 a.m., I woke up in a panic. Something felt wrong. I checked her location. She had stopped sharing it with me. I checked her TikTok page. She took down one video of us twirling around and looking at each other with love. She has kept up other videos, though. I was so confused and freaked out. I called her. I knew she wasn't going to pick up, but I did it anyway. I left a voicemail that said something like, "Hey, her name. I think we should talk. I have a lot to talk to you about. I hope you reach out. Bye." I was sure that she would never reach out. I thought it was over. The next day, she texted me, "Hey, I saw you had called. Feel free to text me if you still have stuff to say." I texted her back an hour later saying, okay. Thanks for reaching out.